You want to go?
We ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I have Lammar D Burney, just 10 Lammar.
Okay.
Rex Butler for Karlie West, Your Honor.
Okay, and these cases are 3N14, 2889, 2888, and 2953. All right. I'm waiting. I still don't have a reply on the motion to sever in Townsend. Are we holding off on that?
I think we had resolved that
Deal with it
once
as
we
motion
have a
and
real
limit.
trial.
Yeah, because the state was going
Motion
to
and
tender
eliminate.
it redacted
Okay.
Right.
as a motion to eliminate, and then we would make a decision whether we're going to do two
Got it.
trials or three, or one
Okay.
trial.
No, I understand. All right. Otherwise, status of the cases, Mr. Butler.
Judge, court will need to set a trial date. I think that I spoke with counsel earlier. I didn't speak to the state's counsel, but
Right.
we're thinking, what, January? February?
The earliest I can try this case to go in January, because I believe this case will, depending upon whether there's two defendants or three defendants, will be a 4 to 6 week trial.
Okay.
And Mr. Vandermark's got a homicide set. I have a couple homicides already set this fall. And I think I have another one set, I think January 10th, Mr. Giglio, before Judge Span. That's kind of a date certain. And that's going to be at least 2 weeks.
So it sounds like it's going to be February.
I think that we should all come up with a time we can do it, because I have a homicide, I have a Sam, I have a,
Sure. All right.
sort of have to block a time.
Right. No, I
Does the
understand
state
it.
know when?
Yeah.
If they know.
We don't in detail. Obviously, there are a lot of witnesses. I think what would make sense is to try to find a date that works for everyone now, and then come back in a little bit and confirm.
And see what
But
the witnesses
start narrowing down the window of when.
Well,
this can happen.
but part of that, I agree with Mr. Howard. If we're dealing with three defendants, it might be a little bit longer trial than if we're dealing with two. If there's the sever, so we got to deal with the motion to sever here.
That would be, the sooner we know that,
Right.
because then we know whether we're going to do two or one.
I have never, in fact, filed anything to join his motion to sever, but I would have the same basis. I will file something saying I joined his motion to sever.
The issue, Judge, is that I've seen it done before in my 30-something years, where you try to do a redacted statement to try to get around Bruton. It's pretty hard to do.
Well, no, I understand.
And so the sooner we can get that redacted, then we can make a decision.
Right. If there's a decision that the state feels they can redact, they have to show the defense what the redaction is, or the court can't. I can't make a ruling. I mean, certainly you can say you're going to redact, but we might still run up against the same problem once you produce those statements and they say, oh, there's a problem here, and then the court's going to have to decide if there is.
Right. And
So I'd rather go ahead.
I think, as I recall, where we left it a couple months ago was that we were going to file those redactions 30 days. I think it was 30 days prior to trial. If the court's saying we want to proceed differently, obviously that's fine, but that's why we haven't filed anything.
No. I understand. That was the status then, because everyone was waiting to see what happened.
But my problem, Judge, and looking on our schedules, is if we find out not until 30 days before the trial.
Mr. Howard, I'm going to make them do it before that.
Okay, because then
No, Mr. Howard, I'm agreeing with you.
All right, enough.
All right.
So I think my suggestion would be to pick
Yeah.
a trial date that, in the general time frame, that might work, whether that's January or February. Have a pretrial conference in a little bit. We can have those statements in.
So it sounds like, Judge, we're looking at potentially another pretrial conference in about 30 days, which would give
About
time.
45 days. I'm going to
Okay.
set another pretrial. I'll expect the state to give me a better sense of witness issues that might occur. I know that's a long ways out, but at least. All right, and that's a 3-week trial? All right, so I've got a 3-week Sam case starting January 11th. I'd really prefer that I do this trial, let's say the 2nd of February. And I can give you 4 weeks. I'll give you the month of February now.
That's fine. I'll take
If the
it.
parties think they're going to need longer than that,
The only problem,
yes, go ahead.
looking if it's longer,
Right.
there's school's out for a week, and I was intending to.
Yeah, I'm in the same position in March, the first week of March.
What week is spring break in
March
March?
11th through 18th.
We should be.
So I
finished
think a
by then.
lot of it's going to depend on whether we're 3 or we're 2.
Right, and so that's why we need to get that resolved, because I'm actually gone the first week of March too, so that March is bad, but I've got the full month of February. frankly,
February's fine with me.
I could give the Sam case to somebody else. We could start let's say we're going to start this case the 26th of January. That'd give us 5 weeks. Frankly, even if it's 2 of you and you're thinking 4 weeks, we're going to need an extra week just to make sure.
The 20.
The 26th, I'm looking at 2015, sorry. The 25th of January.
Okay.
All right, so 25th January, we'll say 5 weeks. So that takes us up through the end of February, just about. All right. Let's go ahead and set a pretrial at this time. I'll give you till the 13th of October. That should give, hopefully, the state a chance to look at what they're going to redact, if anything. I mean, if you think you can redact it such that we can keep them together, that's important to know.
We'll be ready to have that discussion on the 15th.
Okay, and also officer leave issues the end of January. Okay. Any other matters to take up at this time? Rule 45, I'll have my chambers send out a letter to everybody telling them, but it'll just move consistent with what the new trial week is.
May we be excused, Judge?
Yes, thank you.